All right, here we are live. I'm gonna try and do another open stream this week. Went pretty good last week, but I'm not used to hosting a show where you have other people on and really dealing with that. So should be able to get her figured out here. So if anybody wants to join in, just I pinned the link there in the comments. Just click on the link and follow these. Excuse me. Follow the instructions when you get there. Then I gotta try and find the right spot to cut the glare a bit from the window. Otherwise, you got that glaring at you. That's a problem with going back to daylight savings time or standard time. I forget which it is. Now it's bright outside this time of day. And it really shows how much cleaning I got to do around here. But anyway, here we are doing another week. Go ahead and, like I say, feel free to join in here. If you got any questions, anything you want to show off, or if you just want to be on the show and chat with everybody. If Mike and Angie from Me and You Acres happen to be watching, that's one of the hinges I'm trying to send you. Trying to get around the shipping a little bit. Normally, you could just pack these in a small flat rate box, and any weight you can fit in the box is one rate. The problem is when you do it international, they limit the weight to 4 pounds. And like I said, these are heavy duty hinges. These things are about a pound a piece. So I wouldn't be able to send you very many of them unless I go up to the next size bigger, which gets hugely expensive. I'll figure something out though. I'll get you some of these. You'd like these hinges. They're real heavy duty hinges. These I salvaged from a job we did, a demolition job in a school, and they're made for hanging, big heavy fire rated solid doors. So you can definitely do a little building around your house with some of them. But I'll get them figured out and get around the post office somehow to get the price a bit more reasonable for shipping them to Canada. Anyhow, yeah, that's really all I got to start off with here. I did a collaboration video with the Mennonite Farmhouse, Leanne, and Kettle Kitchen doing pies for March. That turned out pretty good. I did the I used a cast iron Turk's head pan and a cast iron muffin pan to make little mini pies, and showed my top secret super duper pie crust recipe. The secret is vodka, but that went over pretty good. And if you have cast iron bakeware, you can use it for a lot of stuff other than what you would normally think of, like gem pans and corn stick pans, things like that. You don't have to make just corn sticks in a corn stick pan. The big ones, especially, the Wagner senior size, they work really good for making hot dog buns. They, you get real nice. They work great for hot dog buns, things like that. If you want to have some real fun, use a corn stick pan to make brownies, because I've seen it on Facebook and I've done it before. It ends up looking like a plate full of turds. You can have all kinds of fun with people with those. You use UPS ground for anything above 13 ounces, cheaper than the post office, usually, but they're high on their international rates too. And shipping into Canada, I'm gonna have to check around and figure them out, because, like I say, the volume is small, and it's really mostly volume is what they charge rates for shipping. So it might be cheaper to go through UPS this time for to ship a small package international rather than the post office, because usually a lot of times the post office flat rate boxes are cheaper than UPS, but sometimes they're not. I mean, it's pain. FedEx, UPS, they're all, you gotta do a lot of studying sometimes if you're doing something a little unusual. That's kind of the pain with cast iron too. Even if it's not terribly heavy, a lot of times it's big enough that it wants to kick it into the next price class. Like with the post office, the flat rate boxes, shipping like a number 8 skillet, it's a it's a large box, but it's a game board box, is what it is. You have to order them from the post office. They're free, but they don't usually carry them. You have to order them off the website, and they work great for a number 8 skillet and smaller, and it doesn't kick you into the next size bigger. But all their boxes seem to be just the wrong size, so it's kind of a pain sometimes. If it fits, it ships. Yeah, that's the flat rate post office ones. I think it's actually up to 70 pounds for the large size boxes, but they're different. They have boxes with different dimensions. But yeah, anywhere from 0 to 75 pounds, they ship at all the same price, which works out nice. Let me back up a little bit here. We got Ford Jim 44, Dan. Good to see you guys. Darla Allred, Dorothy Annis, Cynthia. Lovely to see you. Anyone finding a cast iron? I think it's a bit too early. Yeah, it's usually pretty dead this time of year. It doesn't. You don't start seeing yard sales and things like that until spring and early summer, anyway. But even donations to secondhand stores, Goodwill, that sort of thing. Grandma didn't make it through the winter, but the family doesn't get around to cleaning out the house until spring a lot of times. And that's just kind of how it works. Even if nobody died, just doing spring cleaning and getting rid of things or selling stuff off, people usually hold off until spring or early summer. Then it starts picking up pretty good then. Billy Lee, good to see you. Rob York. The spring forward time got me. Nah, I'm always working odd hours anyway, so changing the clocks doesn't really make much effect to me anyhow. Stays later, longer. Yeah, it's the days are getting longer. The spring equinox is here in a few days, so spring actually begins, and we'll get our week of spring here, and then another month and a half of winter. Then it'll be summer, because there really is no such thing as spring in Wisconsin. Normally middle of March, towards the end of March, you'll get maybe one good week or so. Everybody get their hopes up, get rid of a lot of snow, and then you get another 1.5 feet of snow for the next month. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, if you want to come in, double check and make sure I actually got it there. Yeah, it's right there on the top of the comments. Click on that, follow the instructions, and away you go. And even if nobody shows up, we'll still have a good time, because we'll just sit here and chatter for a while. No such thing as winter in Louisiana. Well, I suppose not. Any new cast to show? No, I don't have anything new this week. Haven't even done my grocery shopping yet this week. I think I'll be able to work it in tomorrow. I got an appointment after work I gotta go to, and then I should be able to get caught up on some of my running. Because that's when I usually make the rounds around the Goodwills, and if there's antique stores open when I'm going through, I'll stop in and check them out sometimes. Kind of depends on what I'm up to. I did bid on a couple items on the Goodwill auction site, but lost out on them. There were a couple of nice things, but went for a little bit too high for what I really wanted to pay for them. The one thing it was worth what it sold for. It was a slant logo number 10 Griswold Dutch oven. Had the trivet with it too. The cover had a hole in it, but I didn't have a chance to look it up. I know there were some cast iron lids that had a vent in them, and I don't know if that was one of them or not, or if somebody just drilled a hole in the lid. but I've got a lid, a slant logo number 10 lid that the wife had forever, and I've had it now forever, so that wouldn't have been a big problem. But it had the had an original trivet in it. It went for 300, and usually that's about what they go for, anywhere from 3 to 4, especially with the trivet in them like that. What else did I bid on? It's just kind of an odd little thing that I was curious about. But yeah, I'm not sure. What was that? Anyway, I got outbid for that too, so doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's see, Lodan. Went to a church garage sale this weekend. Didn't find anything though. Can't wait. Yeah, there's a church in a town not far from here. They have a running 2 days a week. They have a running thrift sale kind of thing all summer long, and usually the first week or two I've got a couple 3 different pretty neat cast iron things there. They kind of stockpile things over the winter. They get donations in for their sale, and if you're there the first few times they're open, you can usually get some pretty good stuff there. It kind of thins out after that, but a lot of times they do have pretty cool stuff. Dog making noise in the bathroom. I got a tickle in my throat. Doesn't want to wash down. Billy Lee, you want to come in again this week, Billy Lee? You were the one who managed to figure it out last time around. And if you want to join in, you don't have, just click on the link. You don't have to install anything or join StreamYards. Nope, there's nobody in the green room. You don't have to install anything or join StreamYards or anything like that. You just go ahead and come on in. You're cooking. You got your nerve trying to feed yourself. But anyway, a little bit. Oh, there's somebody. We got Randy. Let's see. We'll add you to the stream. There you are.
Hello, Mud.
Oh, howdy. Good to see you.
Glad to meet you.
Let's see. Let me put my headphones on here quick because sometimes you get an echo. Like I said, I'm not the greatest hosting this, doing it with more than one person. It's not a problem.
This is my first time, so I have no idea what I'm doing.
Sometimes we get an echo if you got your speakers going and your mic will pick it up. But it's not a problem if you're alone. And they do have an echo cancellation, but it can be kind of a pain sometimes. All right, yeah, these are working. That should help some. At least you shouldn't get too bad of an echo. So how we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, everything's going well. Still snowing. We got a big snowstorm here just a couple of days ago.
I'm getting a lot of echo here.
Okay. All righty. Do you have headphones?
No, I don't.
Okay. You're not doing too bad. Is there a lot of echo in the on the YouTube side, guys? Oh, if you have YouTube going, mute it. That's something I forgot. If you got the no, don't mute yourself right now. Unmute yourself. But if you have YouTube going on your computer, mute the volume on the YouTube thing.
Should I mute it here?
Not in StreamYards. The little mic icon down there in the corner. Okay, that mutes your mic. But if you're watching at the same time on YouTube, mute the YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just a sec. Beep. Sorry.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that too. That's the one other thing that usually.
This is all new to me, so I'll try. But if you lose me,
Yeah, you're doing pretty good so far. Then,
how's that?
I think it's pretty good. I can do just a little bit in the background, but I guess it's going out good over YouTube. So,
Can you still hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Anyway, good enough, I guess.
Anyways, if you can still hear me, I got some questions and I got some stuff to show off, I guess.
All right, betcha. Go ahead and start. I can hear you just fine.
One of my latest finds, I guess, and I was quite pleased to find it, was this little square egg skillet.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I guess being from Canada, I know you have the older Finley, but here's I think they call it the newer script.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's backwards or
No, it's coming through right on my end anyway.
And these are my favorites, the McClarys. A number 9 drip top spider.
Yep.
And of course the McClary's breakfast skillet, number 99.
Yeah.
And the round griddle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see, I'm just barely starting to learn about Canadian cast iron. Yeah, I mean, I know I've known some of the names, McClary and Findlay and things like that, but that's about it, really. I mean, I don't just starting to learn more about some of the different. I mean, there's tons and tons of different brands of Canadian cast iron, different makers.
There is, yes.
And a lot of history on them. And like I said, something I'm just starting to pick up on. So it's nice to see any of the Canadian stuff.
And I'm new to this, so everything's new. Even the Canadian stuff is new to me. I've only been collecting for maybe 3 years now. But
Yeah.
I do have a Griswold down here I'd like to show you.
Okay.
Sorry for all the dust. It's a Dutch oven. The small logo.
Yeah.
It's got a tab on it where it stays open.
Oh, it's got the hinged lid.
Yes.
Hinged lid.
I was wondering what year they were made, or are they common?
I haven't seen very many of the hinged lid ones. They're not all that common. But the small logo ran from about 1940-ish up until 1957 when they stopped making making Griswold. So they, so it'd be in that time frame.
Right.
With the skillets, you can break it down a little more by the style of the handle. There's the early style. They look like the large logo handles. It's real crisp and clear on the backside. Then there's a kind of a middle style, and the backside of the handle is a little more rounded, a little more filled in looking. Then towards the very end, they made one that had a groove down the back of the handle. And they made that from, like the early 50s, 52, 53, up until the end. So, at least the skillets, you can kind of break the dates down a little bit more, but I'm not sure about the Dutch ovens.
Right.
If you can really date them any more than that. Yeah, a small logo, 40s to 57. Somebody's wondering where you can find parts for an old wood cook stove. Depends on the brand. Like Monarch, you can usually find Monarch and Home Comfort. There are a couple of bigger brands. A lot of times you can find parts for them around. It's not easy. You got to do some hunting on the internet and hunting around. For other brands, it's kind of catch as catch can. Sometimes antique stores. There's an old kind of antique store, junk dealer sort of guy not far from me, and he's usually got parts for wood stoves, lids, and things like that. But they're out there, but it takes some hunting to find parts for wood stoves. But like I said, some of the bigger brands, are easier to find. Yeah, eBay isn't too bad of a source, but you have a pretty good idea what you're looking for, even if you're just going hunting around antique shops or junk shops or things like that. You gotta be able to identify what you got. A group on Facebook called Wood Cook Stove Hospital. Huh. That might be handy. No, there's a whole cook stove. You want $1,000 for it? No. Prices are kind of all over on them. It really depends on what they are, and how pretty, how fancy. The small logo isn't as valued to collectors as large, but it ain't because of quality. Yeah, that's true. Although the price has really caught up a lot. The small logos used to be a good bit cheaper than large logo Griswold. But, the price on small logos really seem to have caught up a fair bit. But they're still, they're great pans. They're as good as anything Griswold ever made. Alrighty. I'll let you chat for a bit. Kind of cut you off.
I've got another question for you when you got a moment.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I'm new to hosting. I'm kind of going back and forth and trying to balance things out with the chat and the guest.
If I can find it. Oh, I was going to show you something too. Those Japan pans that you got.
Yeah.
Here's a different one. It just says Japan.
Yeah.
There's nothing else on it.
Huh. Oh, you weren't intruding, Cast Iron Chaos. We're just trying to, like I said, this is the first time I really done, a hosting kind of thing, so I'm not quite balanced with going back and forth.
And I think you have this one, but a Levcoware, Japan.
Yeah, I have one like that, and then that 3-notch ring one you have.
Yep.
I have one of those, but that's also marked Levco there.
There's another Japan one with numbers on the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
And a Japan one that just says Levco.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that one I've got. And yeah, those are pretty nice pans. I'd definitely keep an eye out for those Levco and Japanese pans like that.
They're really nice, yes.
Yeah, at least the ones I found are nice. Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Because you couldn't really tell what the pan was exactly when I was bidding on it.
No.
But yeah, it looked like a Canadian style handle, and it had a heat ring with notches in it, and nothing added up. You couldn't quite figure out what it was. It just turned out to be a pretty cool little thing.
Right.
And you see that with some Korean made pans too. A lot of times they'll have like a 3-notch heat ring like a Lodge, but then we'll say the skillet size, 10.5-inch skillet made in Korea with the same kind of tight face as unmarked Wagner wares used. So they're just kind of copying elements from both of them.
Right. I guess one of my favorites is a Lodge. It's the very first cast I bought. I wasn't collecting then, but I think I bought it in 1990 or 91.
Yeah.
Just because I do a lot of deer hunting. I bought I'm sure it's the original Wildlife series with the deer on it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people collect those. I know some of them, but I don't really know a whole lot about them. But yeah, there's a lot of people that really collect a lot of the the Lodge, the Wildlife series, and all the other kind of specialty pans that Lodge has put out over the years.
Right.
The Rosie the Riveter they did here last year or the year before.
Yeah, I just found Rosie the Riveter maybe 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I bought it. But...
Get my leg tucked up here. How do you put a pic on your phone to the stream? I'm not sure if you could just send pictures. I mean, I know you can, you can join the stream easy enough, but just trying to post something, I don't really know if you could. If you could, you could email me the picture and I can, get it from there and post it. But I don't know how you would do that directly. Oh, there. Let's see. I think someone watched you and it said you wanted a cast iron wall mount lamp holder. Usually go cheap at the auction. Last week, $60. Nope. The deer and the dog are less common of the Lodge Wildlife pans, I guess. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of the fish. The bass. I think there's a couple of different fish. I've seen the bass fairly often, but yeah, you don't see the deer much. Not that I noticed anyway.
I had another one here I was going to show you, but I don't know what I've done with it. You
want that Lady Liberty skillet? Yeah, those are neat. I got to track one of them down for myself. Yeah, the bass and the mallard, fish and duck. Yeah, I've seen like I said, you've seen the fish quite a bit. The duck too, now that you mention it. Wondering what cast iron website I like to buy from. A couple, 3 of them. Really, Goodwill has a website. Any auction site, prices vary widely, and you got to be kind of careful. But I get some on eBay, I get some on Goodwill. There's a few local online auction sites around here that I've gotten stuff from. So, I don't really have any favorites. It's just whoever's got what I'm looking for, the price that I can actually afford.
Just let me know when you get caught up in your comments, and I got a couple more questions for you.
All right, go ahead.
This one here, is it a Lodge griddle?
Yeah, I think so. If you had, 09, the OG, yeah,
Yes.
that's a Lodge.
Is that an older Lodge or?
A bit, yeah. I think that was probably in the 50s or so. Or well, maybe not. Let me see it again, because I know usually they had a little bit bigger letters on the older ones.
So number 9.
That's it. Does that say OG underneath the 9?
NG.
Well, maybe not. Or BG. Well, that might be a BSR.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I began the initials in the 50s and 60s or so. Yeah, when they started with the OG, SK, DO, and all that. I think that was like late 40s on early 50s. They started it and they ran for a while. But usually they're bigger. But NG, yeah, I'm not sure.
Another one I've got. I got to clean it up yet. It's a slant logo Griswold, but it's really deep.
Oh yeah.
I thought it would have said chicken fryer, but it doesn't. Number 9 Griswold Erie.
Yeah, it might be just a bit. 733. I'd have to look up the number to see if it's listed as a different size.
I was just wondering if it should have a lid or.
Not necessarily. If it's just a deeper skillet, it might not have had. There's a lid for it, I'm sure. A skillet lid, but might not have necessarily came with it. Well, the chat's pretty sure that's a Lodge griddle too.
Thanks.
Yeah. Cast iron skillet with yellow. Yeah, slant logo, anything gets pretty penny these days. Yeah. Especially the the slant logo Erie. It doesn't have the Erie PA USA on it. Those go for even more yet. So that's a hell of a good find you had with that one.
Actually, one of the there's a lot of centerpieces on my table here, but another one is I haven't used this yet, but it's the flat griddle with LaBelle.
Yeah.
Number 14.
Oh yeah. Slant logo and Erie. Yeah, that would definitely go for a pretty penny for a big 14 like that.
I paid 160 for it. That's Canadian, but I wasn't going to pass it up. I'd never see another one, right?
Yeah, that's real cheap for something like that. Wait a minute here. The name of the Goodwill website? Do you mean the Goodwill website is shopgoodwill.com? But the other ones, like I said, eBay I use every now and then, and the local ones I just keep an eye on. Once they don't have a whole lot of stuff, but I get them from there. Most of my stuff I get secondhand stores, really secondhand stores, and a couple of antique shops that usually got some pretty decent stuff. But yeah, a number 14 griddle like that, that's gonna go for big money because they're hard to find. I mean, there aren't a whole lot to begin with, and people love them for pizza pans, things like that.
The Goodwill site, is that just in the United States, or do you know if it's in Canada too? Will they ship to Canada?
I don't really know. I mean, some of it kind of varies. They might ship to Canada, but the deal is it's the individual Goodwill stores. They all list them on a common site, and they ship from that store. You'd have to just about get a hold of them, see if you can ship international. I've seen a few where they say they don't, but it's kind of tough. Yeah, do you have anything that you can't identify?
Do I have anything I can't identify?
Yeah.
Oh, God, lots. This here,
because we got all kinds of clever people around here.
I think he called it a flip-flop griddle.
Oh yeah, the flop griddles.
I'd love to know who made it or where they're from. There's no markings on it, no size.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. They're there were some that were made by bigger names. Griswold and Wagner both made versions of them. And they seemed like they're more popular before about 1920. This is usually when you see a lot of them, but there's a lot of versions. That's got a wire bail with a wooden handle kind of thing on it.
Yes.
Did you break the stream with the question? Stream's still running on our end. Is anybody else having problems with it? Yeah, usually like with waffle irons, when you see them, when they have a wire, kind of a bail on them like that with a wooden handle, those are usually, before 1890 or so. So that could be kind of a clue for how old that one is. But yeah, if there's no marks, I mean, it's like, are there any gate marks on it?
No, there's not. Actually, I've got a good question for anybody.
Okay, we seem to be running, I guess.
This is the only waffle maker I've found. It says Sydney on it with quotation marks.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how good you can see it.
You can see her a little bit. Yeah, you can see it some anyway on here. Yeah, the Sydney, that would be one that was made by Wagner.
Oh yeah,
most likely. Yeah, because the Sydney in quotation marks is after they bought out Sydney Hollowware. The Sydney Hollowware was their own company, from mid 1880s up till a little before 1900, and then Wagner bought them out, and they kept using the Sydney name after that, and it was usually Sydney in quotations. They kind of sold it as a more of a budget brand, like the National stuff that Wagner made.
Okay, right.
And they kept the name going up until about 1920ish, I think, late 19 teens. So yeah, it's made by Wagner. I think I've only got I got one Sydney, and it's a Wagner made Sydney pan. Oh, I got Snudo. Sorry, didn't see him down there.
Hey, what's going
There we
on?
are. No, not much.
It looks awful.
Just kind of chatting. We'll get this figured out one of these days, how to run a show with a panel on it like this.
Cool. Randy,
yeah,
that's cool stuff, dude.
Yeah, so that puts your waffle iron, about 1900 up into the late 19 teens.
Nice.
Corey says it's worth about 150 US. Yeah, probably. I've been seeing a lot of waffle irons on the Goodwill site, and most of them have been going mostly Griswolds. And with a base, most of them have been going around 170, 175 lately, which is kind of up from a bit from what they usually are.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Before I collected cast iron, I did have a Griswold. I don't know what size it was, but a waffle maker.
Yeah.
It sat in the back room for years. Somebody took a liking to it, asked me if I'd sell it. And I know I paid $15 for it, and they offered me $30, and I took it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd kept it.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a small question.
All right.
I got this Dutch oven. Which, I think it's a Pit Boss Dutch oven, but they got these like rust spots. You can see them right here, kind of. How would I go about getting rid of these? Steel wool?
You'd probably take it off pretty good, I would think.
Okay.
Just steel wool it and, give her a good scrub, and then, like an SOS pad should get rid of most of it.
And would that be good for like chili for the first time using it, or would that be too much, you think?
A lot of times with Dutch ovens, you're better off using something, doing meat in them. So something that doesn't have a lot of water until you get them seasoned a little bit and broke in good. But
Gotcha.
Oh, hey, me and you Acres, Mike and Angie are here. They finally showed up. Earlier in the show, I showed everybody the hinges I was going to send you. But I'm trying to work out shipping on them because I'd only be able to send 4 of them and keep them fairly good. Vinegar and steel wool, yeah, that'd work good too. You'll end up with a little light spot there where you scrubbed it, but don't worry about that. Just, dry it on the stove, warm it up, oil it up, and keep using it. And,
Gotcha.
That'll blend in before too long.
Okay.
People get, kind of worked up. Oh, I, got a bare spot in my seasoning. Do I have to redo the whole pan?
Yeah, I just didn't want to redo the whole thing. That would be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, no, just, just dry it on the stove, warm it up, wipe her down with a little oil, and keep on using it, and it'll heal itself right up eventually.
Sweet.
Who made a waffle iron that had a long handle and didn't have a base? They just flip over like a s'more iron. I've seen a bunch of them, different wafer irons and waffle irons have like a long steel handle on them. Wagner made some. There's some that are real old. Some are pretty modern. Rome cookware. They make like camping cookware mostly, pie irons, things like that. So it's kind of hard to say, who made it. Shipping's crazy, and get Mike's dad to get him. And we visited in Michigan. I tell you what, it won't cost a whole lot for me to ship them to Michigan. If you give me an address in Michigan, I can send them to on Facebook. I'll pack them up and send them on to you. Because, them are getting distracted by hinges again on a cast iron show. But, them are heavy-duty hinges. I salvaged them at a demolition job I did in the school, and they're made for hanging big, heavy, fire-rated doors. I mean, you put 4 of them on your wall of your house, you can use your whole damn wall for a door.
Mm-hmm.
But, the things, they weigh about a pound a piece, so try to ship enough to be worthwhile. But anyway, Angie, if you want, or Angie or Mike, whichever one of you is running the show tonight, go ahead and send me a address in Michigan, and I'll ship them there for you. Anyhow, we'll kind of go on. You guys can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see it.
Can you see the chat, Randy?
No, I can't see the chat.
Oh, on the
I wish I could. But
on the StreamYard side, there should be a thing that says private chat and then comments. Should be a little column on the right hand side.
I do. Yep. Oh, comments.
Yeah, if you click on that, can you see them now?
Oh, I see it. I do. Yes.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm really old school here, so.
There's a Griswold toy waffle iron on eBay right now, only $29.99 or best offer, plus $20 shipping. Well, at least the shipping ain't bad. I mean, it'd be downright insulting. They wanted $150 for shipping. I did see a number 3 oval Griswold roaster that just sold on Goodwill for $1,300. You know, and it was bigger one. I think the number 3 is like a 16-inch, if I remember what the measurements were. It's one of the bigger roasters, but you don't see the oval Griswold roasters very often either.
I wish I'd seen the comment. I wish I'd seen the comments earlier. I would have said hi to Cast Iron Chaos and me and you Akers. Hi, Billy Lee.
Oh, yep. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I forgot about that too because I've been on other people's streams and it comes up by default on the private side. You have to click on the comments to see the comments.
Right.
Use vinegar to get rid of flash rust. Okay, yeah, that works. You can, usually with flash rust, if it ain't too bad, if it's after you've stripped the pan and you just got done scrubbing it, it'll rust instantly because it's bare iron and it's damp.
Okay.
And a lot of times just heating it up a little bit and oiling it and wiping the oil off, be kind of generous with the oil. And a lot of times that'll lift most of the rust off. You might have to do it, 2 or 3 times, but at the same time, it'll keep it from rusting more. Yeah, I've had pretty good luck doing that. It can be a pain because, there's nothing you can do to stop it in that split second it takes to go from dry to wet and rust instantly.
Randy, did you have anything else you were showing off? I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't interrupt me at all. Another really nice Canadian piece I have, I guess, is an oval roaster by McClary's.
Yeah, cool.
Number 5.
Yeah.
And it's there's a pot here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And with the original trivet, and I hope you can read it. I can't see.
Oh, wow. Yeah, pretty much any Dutch oven or, especially an oval roaster like that, if you got the original trivet with it, that really runs the price up on them.
I think I really lucked out finding this one.
Yeah.
What kind is your Dutch oven?
I
got it for. I think it's some Chinese. I don't know. I have my cast iron. I first got it's a Lodge pan, and I pretty much have like all my smalls are Lodges. But I got like a 1920 Wagner number 9, and like a vintage Lodge number 10. They're all in there. I'm gonna go grab them. But
right. Oh, we got Jim here in the green room. I'll add him quick.
The other guy is working on his edge right, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individuals decline 1% every year with age.
Jim!
Natural.
Yeah.
And it's
turn your radio down.
100% natural.
All right.
With game-changing effects on your energy, mood, and focus. Shock Daily's main ingredient has been clinically studied to boost testosterone 20% in 90 days.
Probably should have warned you before I brought you on. All right. Okay, you ready, Jim?
Hello, Jim.
I saw you getting the stuff set up there. Oh, he dropped off. Well, you can come back. You can come back in when you get yourself set up a little better, Jim. That's your final notice of warranty on your automobile is about to expire. Anyway, yeah, it's new before we got sidetracked on Jim. Looked like it had some nice looking stuff there if we get her squared away. Yeah, you said you had a 1920s Wagner, and
Yeah, I use that pretty often.
Nice.
That's probably my most popular one. I need to get that Lodge restored though. It's just so big. It's so heavy too.
yeah, the newer big ones really get to be a chunk.
Yeah, Lodge is nice. Those are my everyday users. I really love Lodge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're really good pans. They work good. They're inexpensive. They're great. Great to start off with. Learn how to. I mean, there's a bit of a learning curve getting used to cooking with cast iron. If you're used to cooking with,
Yes.
aluminum or stainless steel or something lighter like that. And some people never do get the knack for it. So, if you bought yourself a $25 Lodge pan and you just can't get the hang of it, you're not out a whole lot.
First time I ever used cast iron, I dumped a whole bunch of oil into it and caught it on fire. I was freaking out.
Yeah, it's not nearly as difficult as some people seem to make it to be.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't be afraid to interrupt me now and then when I'm bouncing back and forth. Just kind of speak up because, like I said, yeah, haven't quite got the hang of doing a panel style show, but it seems to be working fairly good. I mean, everybody seems to be having a good time, and we're showing off things, getting some information shared.
I just seen that Billy Lee said nothing beats my BSR pans. I've got a number 10 BSR that I absolutely love using too. And to season it, I used your method of using the potatoes.
Yeah.
And it worked great.
Yeah.
It worked awesome.
Yeah, I really, really like doing it that way. That seems to break them in real good. I mean, even if no matter how you season them in the oven, always that first time, they tend to kind of stick a little bit. I'm not sure what happened to Jim, but hopefully he'll be back. If not this week, maybe next. Looked like he has some pretty cool stuff laid out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it seems to, the starch seems to really seal them up good and get a real good seasoning going for you.
I might do that in this Dutch oven.
Yeah, fry up. Just put. You don't want to deep fry them, but I usually put a fairly generous amount of oil in the pan, and then just fry up some raw potatoes. Kind of rub them around a little bit on the bottom once they start cooking, and smear that potato starch into the iron.
Gotcha.
And it really gets them off to a good start.
I need to make some clarified butter like you do.
Yeah, I do most of my cooking with the clarified butter.
You can buy it at the grocery store. It's just it's like $10 for a little bitty jar of it.
Yeah, it's all you gotta do is take a pound of butter and melt it. Really, that's all there is to it. Yeah, I just melt it over a double boiler and pour it off. I usually pour it off twice, because it's hard not to get a few little bits and get a little bit of water and stuff in there when you pour it off the first time. But the second time it's just a little bit of water in the bottom and you can get pretty much all of it.
Let's try that.
Yeah, ghee. Yeah, if you call it clarified butter, it's a lot cheaper than ghee. Oh, you're welcome, Jim. Yeah, if you want to come back in, just click on the link again and it'll bring you back in. Let's see here. I need a drink here quick. Yeah.
I've got someone pulling in my laneway, but thanks for having me on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll do this. I got to double check my schedule here quick here before I go committing myself to doing another show next week. I think I was good for all of the month. Let's see here. Tuesday. That'd be 21st. Yeah, I'm off next Tuesday, so yeah, we'll be doing a show next week. Don't know if I'll do another panel show next week, but I will be pretty soon because yeah, these look like it could be kind of fun. You know, if we get things organized a little better. Where's Randy from? He's from Canada.
Yep. Ontario, Canada.
So is me and you, Akers, Mike and Angie.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
They're up there in Canada.
Oh wow.
Dan
Yeah,
must be from Canada too, is he?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, when you mention somebody pulling into laneway, that's kind of a dead giveaway.
Oh, my dogs are barking now. Anyways, thank you, Mud. Glad to meet you.
Yeah, and when we do this again, I'll try and we'll get a little better organized at them, and you know, people with questions, or you just want to come on and hang out on screen and show your stuff and play around up the chat. You know, we'll get her worked out. But yeah, this seems to be working fairly well.
Well, keep on with your show. I got to leave the studio.
All right.
So,
go ahead, and we'll see you next time.
You betcha, Mud. Thank you.
Yep, I think I'll bow out too, Mud. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Yeah, anytime. Well, yeah, no, it's just me again. And we're just about time to wrap it up anyway. That didn't go too bad. I think once we get the hang of this a little better, might actually turn into something. So yeah, for next week, I think I'll just do a regular show, and you know, in the coming weeks, we'll do some more of these panel shows. I'll try and give you a little bit of warning, you know, so you can get stuff together, and you know, hopefully I'll get a little bit better at hosting them. This is all new to me too, and yeah, Randy had some really neat stuff, and it was nice to help Sanudo out. Been seeing him around for a long time. Finally get to put a face to him, and yeah, I mean this seems to be a lot of fun. You know, different people come on in. You know, I mean, we can always share information. I mean, if one person here doesn't know the answer to something, I'm sure somebody else does. We're all clever people around here. Yeah, once you get the hang of what's his channel, whose channel. Anyway, you know, get the hang of her, get this worked out, and you know, might be able to turn her into something cool. You know, maybe one of these days we can even do like an interview kind of thing. Who knows? You know, I'd like to talk to Cast Iron Chaos. He's a pretty interesting guy. You could have people on the show, or Steven Strawn. He knows a lot about BSR. You know, a lot of people are big fans of BSR, so it'd be worth something worthwhile. But yeah, anyway, you know, I'll be back next week, and I'll be back next week for sure, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do the week after that. We'll do this again sometime pretty soon, and like I said, I'll try and give everybody a little bit more notice. And now some people are figuring out how it works, and you've seen it done a few times. We can make this kind of a regular little get together. I can have up to 10 people at a time on the show, so don't worry about crowding anybody out. But anyhow, I'm going to wrap her up for this week. And Mike and Angie, if you send an address, I can get them hinges shipped over. And that'll definitely work out nice for you, because like I said, those are real heavy-duty little hinges. I mean, they weigh a pound a piece, and they're commercial-grade stuff. They'll last you forever. And we'll wrap her on up here, and I'll see you guys next week. and I hope you enjoyed the show. Right here. I got to end the show first before I can leave. There we go.